Just fine.
Okay. So I took the program, I applied here on the Mohawk Reservation. It's First People's Aviation Technology. So it's the aviation program here at FNTI. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Currently, I don't know if anybody watched the news, but in February, at the end of February, our hangar burned down with all our aircraft. So we had 13 aircraft, our whole fleet burned in our hangar fire. So we lost everything. We even lost, well, I guess we just lost the hangar and all of our DMO, Director of Maintenance area, so where our planes were maintained. Right now, we are currently leasing aircraft, so we're still flying. Obviously, we're not flying 13 aircraft. We're just leasing 3 at the moment. So we are still going. Our program is not accepting new applicants for September. We're currently suspended because we want to just make sure that we have everything we need for new applicants to come. But we will be building again, and our aircraft have already been ordered. We will get them in the new year. But I just want to talk about our program, because just because you're maybe not applying this year, maybe you'll want to apply next year or think about possibly applying and having a career in aviation. So what I want to talk about today is how the program started. Was FNTI noticed that the aviation industry was lacking Indigenous pilots. And since we are a big part of Canada, they decided to open up specific program for Métis, Indigenous, or anybody who has ancestry that is Indigenous. So we have Métis, Indigenous, and Inuit. Those are our applicants, and those are the students we accept. What else can I say? Maintaining strong relationships is one thing we do within aviation. Because this program has been going since 1990, we have built a lot of great relationships with Transport Canada and other aviation businesses and things like that. So we have a good name, and we're partnered with Canadora College. So we have, I believe you get a diploma from them as well as your diploma from here, because we are partnered with them. Our graduates are employed in medevac, cargo operations, as well as flying for Air Canada and WestJet and such, any operation that's carrying passengers. Flight training as well, as that's what I chose. I'm really happy to say, because I seen somebody presenting earlier today saying male-dominated industries, and aviation is a male-dominated industry, but I'm proud to say and happy to say that 40% of our applicants and students enrolled are Indigenous females. So that really makes me happy. And I would love if a lot more Indigenous females came and we made that 50% mark, but it's coming. Due to COVID, we do weekly testing, as well as we have our first year students come for 3 months and then they go home. And then we have our second years come for 3 months, they go home, and so forth. So that way we don't have everybody here at the same time. So we're just trying to take safety precautions. Also, we are in a small aircraft, so you're going to be flying like right beside somebody training. And so we want to just make sure that we're protecting ourselves, protecting our students, and just making sure the whole operation is safe. Program information. So our program is 3 years. You get an advanced aviation diploma. And we have cultural classes. So we have cultural stuff included in your training. We have ceremonies. They do a little bit of Mohawk teaching. So I know a lot about the Mohawk. I'm Cree, but it's great to learn about other cultures, since we're all Indigenous and we all kind of practice the same thing. In your first year, you learn to fly and you achieve your private pilot license. And that's really fun. Everyone has their first solo and it's super exciting. And then your second year, you do your commercial pilot license. And then you're really into the game, because now you can charge people money to fly. So that's really nice. Whereas with your PPL, private pilot license, you can't. So you need that commercial pilot license to get jobs, you know, in WestJet, working medevac, basically to make money. You need the commercial pilot license. And then your third year, we have great options. We have the option to become an instructor like myself. You can have the option to do your float rating. So you get 50 hours on floats. That's actually what I chose. I did 50 hours on floats because I'm from Northern Saskatchewan. I know there's a lot of water there and I wanted to go home one day and fly there. So I did the 50 hours floats, but then when I graduated, I came back to do the instructor rating. And then your third option that everybody chooses is the multi-IFR training. So that's 2 engines in basically bad weather. And that's when you can go fly for different operations and work your way up to the big leagues, which would be, yeah, Air Canada, WestJet, any of those kind of operations, swoop. But it's really exciting. And all the training happens right on the reserve. So the Mohawks have their own airport that was built in World War I. And the pilots that came here to train were training for war. So World War I and II. That is why our hangar was from World War II. It was pretty old and we had everything. You could just tell it was really old. I actually have a short video that I want to show at the end so you can kind of see what happens. I have pictures of like us pulling out planes and like kind of what you would do while you were here. I'm just trying to go as fast as possible because I know we're like running out of time. So I want to make sure I cover everything. Our aviation crew, we have 7 instructors, some of which are former students from the program like myself. And then we have 1 CFI, Pete Miller, our Dean of Success Facilitators. So they assist the students where if you need any groceries, appointments, like if you come to our location and live on the on-site campus, we have a residence. They'll drive you to get to appointments, medical appointments. They'll drive you to get groceries, anything you need, they'll help you, and they help with daily. You just need to contact them. They're always on site. They also help if you're having troubles adjusting to being away from home. You know, you come here, you feel lonely, but that's what they're there for. And we have smaller classes. So I just felt like as a student, I know that it becomes like a family. So in my class, there was only 7 students. We helped each other. Now our classes are getting a little bigger, but not that big. So probably about anywhere from 10 to 15 students in your class. And that's why I feel like it's a family. It's more like a family, I'd say, and a community than just, you know, some classes, schools you go to, there's 50 students. You know, your instructor or your professor may know your name and, you know, how your grades are, but personal and close to each student. And you can tell when someone's having an off day because that's how close we are here. Everyone helps and supports each other. We're not very competitive. Kind of if somebody's falling behind, you know, the other students, their classmates or their instructors will help lift them back up so they can catch back up. I myself was falling behind my first year and my classmates helped me and the student success facilitator. So that was really nice. And as I mentioned before, our fleet is completely gone, but that is not stopping us. We have leased the 3 aircraft, as well as we still have a DCX Max simulator. So we use that as well for flight training, just so you can get the idea of what would happen depending on what aircraft you're in, taking off, landing, climbing, descending. I wanted to make sure you would be taking. So you would be taking air law, flight theory and operations, meteorology, a flight lab, strategies for success. So they're going to help you make resumes. Jazz comes to our school and does mock interviews. You get all dressed up and bring your resume, and they give you kind of an idea of what you should expect when you're out applying for jobs. We take health and wellness, college communications, navigation, airframes and engines, human factors in aviation. So that one will help you understand what happens to your body and illusions that you may get flying and why you should trust your instruments while flying. We also make sure to do math and aircraft handling procedures. And then I want to show our short video. And in that short video, you're going to see our hangar, the one that had burned down. We're hoping to get something bigger and better. So rebuild the hangar bigger. We did lose our aircraft maintenance bay. So we're going to also build a new one of that and get back. So I just feel like, you know, when you lose something, that clears the way to make something better, like maybe things we were missing that we could have had. But since everything was so old, we we're kind of just adding in. And now we get to make our own idea, our own floor plan, our own everything of a hangar, and maybe make it a little bit flow a little bit better. As for what you need to apply, so that's really important because a lot of people think, I watched someone else's presentation where they mentioned that, you know, you have to have something else before you can apply, like it's not direct entry, but we are direct entry. So you can apply straight from high school. All you would need for having to identify is Métis, the Inuit, and First Nation. So all your classmates will be Indigenous. You will definitely need your math, your English. I already talked about having a grade 12 diploma that's equivalent. And a letter of intent is very important because they want to know that you are going to, what your plans are, your goals, what you want to achieve. And I felt like my year, we didn't have a letter of intent. And then the years following me, I noticed they had a letter of intent. And then, so I feel like that's really key for saying why you want in this program and why you'll be committed to the program. And I just want to show the video now to see if I can make this work. So let me try and see if I can do that. It's about 2 minutes. There should be a screen sharing option, shouldn't there? I don't see it. Advanced sharing options.
There should be one at the bottom of your screen and it says share screen. You are a co-host, so you should see.
Oh yeah, I see it.
There you go.
Okay.
Make sure you choose video optimization and share your sound.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, thanks so much. So you can kind of see what we used to have. We don't have those aircraft anymore, but we're going to work our way back. You can also see, I didn't mention our cultural workshops. We do a lot of that. Skirt making, glove making. We have elders that come in and hold ceremonies, drumming circles. I didn't also mention night flying, so that's very exciting. Night flying is one of the ratings you'll get here, as well as VFR over the top, so flying above the clouds. I also didn't mention, now that I'm watching that video, I'm seeing things I didn't mention. So we're also located very close to Trenton Air Base. We annoy them by buzzing through their airspace because we're really slow. As you've seen those little planes, like we're just slow flying around, and they fly big aircraft. So we have to call them up all the time and mention, hey, we're coming through. And I'm sure they're like, oh, you know, those Mohawk kids again. Other than that, at the very start, you've seen how I had a map there. It shows we usually pin where each of the students are from. And as you can see, we're from all over Canada. And I really want to see a lot more pins from Saskatchewan.